Hey everyone, my name is Matthew and I'm here with my lovely co-host and PhotoMine developer, Danielle. We're so glad that you could join us as we're here for a tutorial on the ins and outs of PhotoMine's family of apps.
Thank you so much for having me back. I'm so excited to get a closer look at the apps today.
That's right, today we're going to be taking a close and personal look at 4 of our apps, which we actually call the scanning suite. It includes PhotoMine PhotoScan, FilmBox for film negatives, SlideScan for slides, and Colorize for colorizing black and whites. Should we get started?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, so a question for you, Danielle. How many photo albums do you think you have in your house at home?
Personally, I don't have many, but my parents have probably dozens of albums, thousands of photos just laying around the house.
Well, it sounds like you guys could really use the PhotoMine PhotoScan app to scan and save your photos and turn them into digital photos.
Yeah, it's really too bad. The albums end up just lying around for a while. Nobody looks at them that often, and I feel like it would be really fun if we had the chance to scan them all together and go through them and see how cute I was when I was little and how much we've all changed. So I would love to introduce them to the apps.
Yeah, absolutely. That's, I think, what we're going to do now. Why don't we get scanning? Let's open the app and show everyone exactly how to do that, to scan photos and put them into an album. So Danielle's going to get our scanning set up for us. She's going to open the app, get some photos out for us. But it's very important to note that before you get scanning, actually, you want to make sure your setup is okay. You want to make sure the lighting is okay, specifically. Having too much overhead light could impact your scans, give you some unwanted glares on your photos, which will then show up on your scans themselves. So if you can, it's better to have indirect sunlight from outside through windows. Big open rooms with a ton of outdoor light will be a lot better than overhead fluorescent light bulbs. In addition, you want to make sure you have a nice flat surface. If you can have an even color, that also will help. And you want to be comfortable. So make sure your table is at a nice height. You're not, bending over uncomfortably. All right, so it looks like we're ready to get scanning, right?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's put those photos out there. Maybe let's scan one to start.
Okay, I'm gonna start up an album.
All right, great. What do we got here? Just a nice smiling boy right here. He's got
Yeah.
maybe a school photo.
Yeah, seems like it. There's got some details on the back there,
Oh, we'll
too.
get back to that for sure.
Yeah.
All right, maybe this time we'll
Let's
get
do
a
a
couple
couple.
photos. You can actually scan one photo at a time. If you'd like, you can also do multiple photos at a time. It's really one of the best features with PhotoMine is that you can get through albums so quickly because you can scan multiple photos at once. Granted, you can do one at a time if you'd like, but if you want to go for the quickest scanning process, certainly doing a few at a time is okay. We recommend no more than 3 or 4 though, however. How do they look?
Let's check it out. I love this one, how the photo looks kind of aged and then
Oh, wow.
the automatic filtering turned it into a much fresher photo. You lose all of the orange coloring.
It really was a faded photo, but the app really cleaned it up nicely.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so now that we've got a few photos already into the app, why don't we, they're already saved into an album, but we're gonna need a name for the album.
What should we name it?
I don't know. Why don't we call it PhotoMine TV Scans or something? I don't know.
TV.
Because that's where we are, PhotoMine TV.
Add a date. We can even add a date to the album.
What's the date today?
I don't know. It's December,
Somebody
I know
get us
that.
a calendar.
Okay.
December.
So we added a date.
We added a title or a name to the album. Awesome, so now it'll be easy to find while we're in the app. If you want to search for it, you'll be able to do that as well. But we're
This
not
one?
there yet.
Not there yet.
Don't skip ahead. Don't skip ahead. All right, so now that we have some photos in an album, are there any other features post-scanning that you really enjoy?
I like, even though we saw earlier that the app automatically added some really beautiful filtering and recoloring to the photo, it's fun to add my own filter sometimes if I want to jazz it up, post it on Instagram, So we've got some cool filters in the app here that we can check out to enhance the photo even more.
Yeah, as Danielle said, you can actually the app auto enhances your photos. So if they are a little bit faded, it'll really bring back those colors. But at the same time, if you'd like to change them up and make them a little artsy, you can add them, if you want to turn them into black and white or kind of make them more vivid or make them bluer. There's a few options that you can really go through, which kind of make them look nice and a little bit different than what they were. Yeah, that's a great feature. Any other ones that you really like?
I like that we can add some details to each photo itself, not just about the whole album.
Oh, I love that too. I fancy myself a storyteller, so it's fun. It's fun to put the story behind the photo inside the app with it. then you don't have to remember all the details. You just have to kind of put them down once and that's the end.
Yeah, so we can tag this girl's face who seems to be enjoying some cereal.
Yeah, there's a few things we can do here. We can add the date of the photo, similar like we did with the album itself. We can also add a location if you know where the photo was taken. And just like you said, you can tag faces so they're easily found later on. And we need to have the story. So if you want to write out a full description, you can write it out, or you can actually include a voice recording too. So if you want to put a minute recording of what's going on,
that's
you can
so
just
cool.
kind of, yeah, it is pretty cool, huh? All right, so we're gonna come back to this as we said we would, but we have something special on the back of this photo. We have some text. So what you actually can do, in addition to adding details yourself, you can actually scan the text on the back of this photo, which, I don't know if you can see, it says, Andrew's first day of school, 1984. And so now we're gonna flip that bad boy over, and just from within the app, you can actually scan the text and it'll be added to the description of your photo. And what's even better about it, not only will it scan it, but it'll attach it to the photo you scanned in the first place. So you can easily see what was on the backside. That way, it won't get lost. You don't have to search through the rest of your photos. It's just there with the photo that it was in the first place.
Yeah, they're connected together.
So now we're gonna move on to another feature, actually, one of our newest features, which is called Live Portrait, which is actually very, very cool. Have you had a chance to check it out yet?
A little bit, but this photo seems like it'll be perfect for it.
I'm
excited to see how it turns out.
Yeah, so one of the disadvantages of photos is that they're still. They don't move, they're static. We don't get to see, the emotion in their faces as well, especially from our ancestors, right?
Right.
So with Live Portrait, it's really cool because you can actually, bring your photos to life in a way, almost like those portraits at Hogwarts, that kind of are moving on the walls. So we can actually do that from within our phone right now, which is really great.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna press this little video button next to the color wheel and click on Live Portrait. And now we wait for it to animate the photo. It's gonna turn out great, I think, because this is the perfect picture for it.
yeah, it's really gonna come alive. Oh, wow.
Check it out.
Oh, that's so cool. He's just moving around like.
He looks really excited for his first day of school.
This is how someone would look on their first day of school, I would assume, right?
Yeah.
With their sweater and their tie.
Yeah.
They're looking good. He's ready to go.
He's ready.
Wow, so that's Live Portrait. It's it's something new for us, but very exciting and a totally different way to look at your photos.
Yeah, totally. Really brings them to life.
It really does. So is there anything else we're forgetting about PhotoMine?
I think we've covered everything. We got all the coolest features. It's the perfect way to scan a large amount of photos and get them digitized, and I can't wait to show it to my family.
I'm excited to see how their scans come out. Well, so I think that settles it for this. Let's move on to one of the other scanning apps.
Let's go.
Let's do it. All right, Danielle. So I hear when you were young, you were really into some sort of cameras. You were really into disposable film cameras. Well, we have some film, and we have a camera. It's not disposable, but it's a good old film camera. But I would love to hear about it.
Yeah, I loved it. I would take it on class trips and all sorts of fun places, but I always would get these negatives back when I developed the photos, and I never knew what to do with them. And I always wanted to see how the photos looked on the negatives, and I never was able to see.
Well, it's a good thing we have a handy little app called Filmbox to help you with that. And now you can turn those negatives into digital photos.
Yeah, should we see how it works?
Yeah, let's do it. But that's not the only non-photo scanning app that PhotoMine has. We actually have another one called SlideScan for scanning these bad boys. Take out your handy dandy slides. I know a lot of people had these growing up or had their parents scanning these around. But since the apps are kind of similar, we're actually going to demonstrate them both at the same time so you get a feel for the different apps. And while Danielle's setting it up, it's actually important to note, though, however, that Filmbox is specifically for film negatives and SlideScan is specifically for slides. So you can't scan film negatives with SlideScan, you can't scan slides with Filmbox. Now that the disclaimer's out of the way, let's get scanning.
So, unlike with PhotoMine, where you can just lay your photos out on the table and get scanning, for Filmbox and SlideScan, there's one additional element that you need. Do you know what it is?
Light source!
Yeah. Just like you need to hold a negative or a slide to the light to really see what's going on, it's important to use a backlight as part of the scanning process. So we'll get started. I have my slide here and a backlight. On photomine.com, we have our own backlight.
It's an easy link you can find on the website just by a quick search at the bottom.
Right. So I'll make sure to hold the slide a good distance from the light so we don't get any pixelation in the back.
It's very important. You want to have it a few inches away, right between the phone and the screen. You don't want it right up against either of them. And how to come out?
It's great. You can really see it clear.
It's a little bit of a hassle, to hold the slide between the computer and your phone. We figure we can make things a little bit easier for you. So we have this handy dandy light pad right here.
I'll just swap these
which
out.
makes it a little bit more similar to what it was like with PhotoMine, right? Where you're laying it on the table and then scanning from there. So, we have our light pad plugged in, which you can actually find in PhotoMine's store on Amazon if you'd like to get one, very simply there. It's very bright, it's super easy because what you do is just lay out your slides and negatives. Let's put some of those guys out there.
And I switched us over from the SlideScan app to the Filmbox app.
All right, let's see what we have here.
And lay these out and I will scan them.
And what Filmbox does that's really awesome also is it takes these negative images, right, which is a inverted image, and it flips them so you can actually see what image is on them, right? If you were to hold them up to a light and try to look at it, you might be able to see the figures a bit, but that's really about it. But here, the app will take it and turn it into the actual positive image, which you can see. So what Danielle's doing now is scanning the photos. I mean, these are images, we've never seen before because they were on negative. So now we can have them in the app and organized, and they look great. They really look great. Wow.
Is that Elvis?
That is not Elvis. That guy has not black hair. But hey, what are you gonna do? And what's great with Filmbox and SlideScan as well is you can actually take the photos you've scanned, and if you're a PhotoMine member, you can actually send the photos directly to PhotoMine. So from there, you can organize them in albums. You can add details to them like we discussed before. You can do another scan here.
Yeah.
Yeah? How'd it come out?
Looks great. There's some acrobatics happening in this photo. Very cool.
Oh, very cool. And like we said before, if SlideScan and Filmbox have similar feels to them, so that's why we're kind of showing them both together right now. But we highly recommend that you check them out. And we have one more function to talk about.
Oh yes.
Oh, this is Danielle's favorite.
This one's my favorite.
This is Danielle's favorite. So one thing we've actually done to make it a little bit easier for you, if it's too much for you to actually, press the capture button while you're taking your scans, there's one little word that you can say as part of our voice control function.
Go.
How'd it go?
It worked.
Awesome.
I'll do another one. Ready? Go.
That's so cool.
Fantastic.
That is just so cool. Yeah, you can just do it so quickly. You really don't have to think about it. There's a couple other accessories we actually sell if you're interested that really pair nicely with the voice control, like a stand so you can have it hovering above your photos. But
you're really totally hands-free at that point.
It's definitely hands-free. It's really nice, but that's for another time. I think that's it for Filmbox and SlideScan. Are we ready to move on to our next app, which is
Colorize, huh?
Oh, it's Colorize. It's a fun one. It's a fun one for sure. All right, cool. Let's check it out.
All right, what do I need? Gonna switch to the Colorize app. There it is. Get us some black and white photos. So I'm gonna search specifically for some black and white ones in our big photo stack here.
So as we talked about earlier, we alluded to is that so we have this app called Colorize by PhotoMine, and it takes your black and white photos and allows you to turn them into these really lush, colorful photos, unlike you'd ever really seen them before, simply because they were in black and white. And this goes for not only printed black and white photos, but also black and white photos you might already have on your phone. You can actually import them from your phone's camera roll right to the app. So why don't we scan them though, because we have the photos here already.
I just did
and
this
see
one.
how they come out.
Let's see. Ooh.
Oh, very nice. You get to see the blue of her dress.
Yeah.
I think that's it for our scanning apps, right?
Yeah.
I think we've made it through the entire scanning suite. What have we talked about so far?
We talked about Filmbox, how you can scan your negatives. We talked about SlideScan, how you can scan your slides. We did PhotoMine, so we looked at just regular photos and photo albums and all the details you can add to your photos. That pretty much covers it.
And we got Colorize.
And Colorize.
Don't
yes,
forget Colorize.
We just did Colorize.
And these are just only a few of the apps that we actually have at PhotoMind. If you're interested in learning about some of our other ones, including our Photo Family Tree app for building family trees, or Life Show for making slideshows, or our Family Stars game, which is actually a fun little challenge where you can send things back and forth between your family and friends. These are just a few of the things that we have. So we certainly suggest you check them out. All of these apps that we've shown today are available for iOS and Android, so you can find them in the App Store and Google Play. So we suggest, to check them out, take a look. And if you have any questions about anything that we've talked about here today, or you want to know more, please reach out to our support team. You can email us at support@photomind.com or send us a message from within the app in the help and support section. Other than that, I think this is it.
Yeah.
Right?
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it was so great. Thanks for
was
doing
very
this
fun.
again. And thank you all for joining us today. We really had a great time. We hope you learned something here. And
Enjoy scanning.
we'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much.